Coming to you from an undisclosed location thousands of fathoms beneath the sea. This is the Deep Dive Podcast.
All ahead 1/3, up scope.
Battle stations.
Battle stations!
Hello, divers, and welcome to another delightful episode of the Deep Dive Podcast, the only podcast proven to relieve moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. I'm Tom Feeney, writer for Wings Chop Movie Magazine, available on Amazon.com, and with me, as always,
is Manda.
The marvelous Mrs. Manda, which
Oh.
I'm procuring from that Hulu show.
Oh, I love that font, too.
Yeah.
You know the font of the actual screen
Yes.
grab? I love that.
I think I have that font.
1950s. Yeah, I love
Yeah,
that.
I have that in my
It's
my
me.
font book.
My font book. Why can't they bring font book to iPad?
We'll talk.
Okay. Yep.
You can.
Okay. Whoops.
So. And now back to Apple Talk. No,
No,
we're not doing that.
Nope.
There's too many of those around anyway. Instead,
Yep.
for today's installment, we decided to talk about our favorite bee movies. But somehow that got turned into movies about bees and not, as you might think, low-budget movies.
Let's get buzzed.
Oh, I like what you did there.
Yeah.
And I have to thank, right at the beginning, friend of the show, Bob Acorn, for pollinating this idea. We were having a discussion about bee movies, and that turned, for some reason, into bee movies.
Man, Bob's so cool.
Yeah, and so we thought, hey, that would be a great topic for the show.
Right.
And, it stands to reason. We'll see if that works out. Yeah.
We're still going to publish it, so even if it doesn't,
Guess what? It's
You're
too late
stuck with
now.
us.
You're into it.
you subscribed.
You subscribed. You're done.
And if you haven't, please subscribe.
Yeah, please.
Yeah,
please. We'll be your best friends. All right, let's start us off.
Absolutely.
Manda, what do you got for us?
Well, I knew we were going to do this play on the B movies thing, so I decided to go serious.
Seriously?
Super serious.
Seriously?
Serious.
Seriously.
Let's do an ASMR.
No, we're not going to do that.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so I chose a documentary because I think it's vitally important that we talk about the crisis the world finds themselves in regarding bees. This one happens to be called More Than Honey, came out in 2012, directed by Marcus Imhoff. He actually produced it as well. And let's see. The basic plot of this film is it follows several protagonists and their sort of relationship to bees, about bees, for bees. So we have a beekeeper, we have a farmer, we have people who are directly and indirectly affected by the care and welfare of bees, and specifically honeybees. So, of course, the life of a honeybee is, it's a baby tiny bee, and it goes buzzing around until it finds a flower, and then it pollinates said flower, and then it eats stuff with the flower, and then it goes back to its honey place, and it makes honey.
Well, I wish I'd had this talk with my parents when I was a kid.
Yeah. Why do they call it the birds and the bees? I am so confused by that. Why wouldn't it just be like the birds and the birds, or mommy bird and daddy bird, or like orca, whale, and dolphin?
I think you're just being, a little bit speciesist.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways, so the life of the bee is relatively short, but it's so crucial and so important to so many things. For example, do you like cashews?
No, and Gesundheit.
Okay, let's try another one. Do you like blueberries?
Why, yes, I do.
Okay then, did you know that without the honeybee, blueberries would almost cease to exist?
I did not know that.
Yeah. Also, so would so many other plants because they pollinate it. And unfortunately, and maybe also fortunately, as a human race, we have learned to cultivate bees.
Things have changed rapidly. We don't keep bees the way my dad did. My grandfather would probably walk from this property disturbed if he saw the way we keep bees today. He'd think, my God. You've lost your soul in husbandry of the hive, and the care and the compassion and the keeping of the hive. He would say we've sacrificed our relationship with the colony.
So, of course, bees are harvested, they're manufactured in a sense, and then they're shipped across the states, across the world in these giant 18-wheelers to then sort of go and pollinate other plants that can only be grown in a certain area of the world, and then they're just kind of left there. Something I found out about through this sort of documentary is that bees can't really hear that well. So what they do is they rely on the sun. The position of the sun sort of lets them know how far away they are from their home base. So you can imagine if you're trapped in a car for like 18 million hours, you're all discombobulated. You're not going to know which way is up, let alone where the sun is. So half these bees, after being transported to wherever they're going, they don't make it because they're confused. It's really quite sad, but more importantly, it's fascinating. So in bee language, which, believe it or not, amounts to like a sort of dance that they do, they communicate things like how far away the hive is or closest area for food through these small interpretive dances, I want to say, because of course they don't necessarily have too much on them other than like furry antennae. But I mean, people have studied these creatures, and it's just fascinating. Something that I found on the website for this documentary, and I'll read it here. It says, over the past 15 years, numerous colonies of bees have been decimated throughout the world, but the cause of this disaster remained mostly unknown. Can we really just blame pesticides? Can we blame the weather, pollution?
Wi-Fi.
Probably Wi-Fi. Yeah. But so billions of bees, they leave their hive, they never come home because, of course, like I said, they're being transported or they get, confused, whatever. And there's no like giant crime scene of bees, like you're not going to be walking through a field and all of a sudden giant bees everywhere, or like just bees everywhere. Can you imagine giant bees? That'll be terrifying. I do have a story about this after I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of tiny little bee-shaped chalk outlines on the ground.
Oh, and the tiniest little like markers. Oh, so sad. Anyways, so yeah, there is a responsibility that we all have, of course, to take care of our environment. But part of that is being careful what plants you pick, what pesticides you use, of course. Trying to source local honey, right? I mean, everyone loves a farmer's market, especially around New England, where we are from. Every autumn, there's about a farmer's market every 600 yards. Where you can go and buy local honey, which, by the way, I found out, fun fact, if you do consume local honey a certain amount per year, it does actually help, they say, with your allergies for the oncoming season.
The local plants
exactly.
that you're allergic to.
Exactly. Isn't that fantastic?
Yeah.
And, of course, we wouldn't really have that natural antigen without bees.
Yep.
So this film won a numerous amount of awards. We're talking Australian, German, Swiss, Bavarian, Santa Barbara Film Festival Award, all for Best Documentary.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so fantastic. IMDb gives it a 7.6. Metacritic gives it 70%, which I think is unfair. I think it's really unfair. And a lot of the comments really state length of time. It was a little long, okay? Prepare yourself. And it can be a little bit depressing, but it's stuff we need to know, okay? Get through it. And I'm giving it a 9.5.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
it was
high praise.
It was, because I think a lot of it has to do with guilt.
Yeah.
Like, because it's just so, they seem almost like they're indispensable, because you think, oh, well, they're tiny bees, there must be bajillions of them. Well, they're not. The honeybee, which actually comprises of like maybe 2 or 3 species, is just, it's not as what it used to be. Having said that, there's this sort of like notion that honeybees are really the only ones going extinct. They're not. There are so many other types of bees, like carnivorous bees down in Chile, and there's tons of other species of bees, which I think there's about 90, I think, something like that the movie said, that are no longer around just simply due to human habitation. It's just really quite sad. But it's important. So if you want to watch it, which you certainly should, you can rent it on the website for the documentary, which is morethanhoneyfilm.com for $4.99. You can also get it on Amazon, iTunes, and several other platforms. I suggest you buy it. It's $12.99. Some of this money does profit sort of these local charities and whatnot, as far as I know. And yeah, it was a great film. It was very informative. It was... I don't want to say it's predictable, because of course most people know the plight of the bees right now, but it was also like, it wasn't afraid to really make us feel not the shame, but to feel responsibility.
Wow.
So yeah, I think you should watch it.
Nice pick. I like that.
Thank you.
Now remember, this does not apply to wasps, which are the jerks and a-holes of the insect world.
Yeah, I hate wasps.
They
I
have
was
no
walking
reason
in
to
a
exist.
field. And one time a wasp was down on the ground for some reason, and I stepped on him. I had no shoes on, because why would you wear shoes in a field? It was 1984.
Don't know what that has to do with anything.
Well, Anyways, I have fond memories of that. My parents told me that I was just not a good kid, and sometimes I would run around without shoes in a field that was behind our house, and then I got stung by bees, and I never did that again. But
we're back.
And we're back. Also, fun fact here: if you are allergic to bees and you need to carry an EpiPen around, the ingredient in the EpiPen, which specifically stops the inflammation that you get from a bee sting, is actually available in things like penicillin and ibuprofen, but just not in a high enough a dose
Right.
and a quick enough a dose.
Yeah, you got to get it right in there.
Right in there, yeah. That's another thing that I will sort of tackle at another time, but EpiPens should be available for everybody.
I agree with that,
Regardless
of course.
of your status, regardless of your class, whatever, how much money you make, doesn't matter. If you need an EpiPen, you got to carry it around on you, and some a-hole should not be charging someone $800 for one.
Brought to you by not the EpiPen company. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think that was good. I'm a little bit flustered right now.
That's fine.
I'm gonna cool down.
All right. So in the meantime,
Yeah. Go ahead. You go.
I actually have compiled some interesting bee facts of my own.
Oh, have you?
And these actually come from the Ontario Beekeepers Association.
That's a real thing.
It is a real thing.
I actually saw that. Yep.
So here are these fascinating bee facts. Bees have 2 stomachs. One stomach for eating, and the other stomach is for storing nectar collected from flowers or water so that they can carry it back to their hive.
Unbelievable.
Oh, yes. Oh, man. This is going to be a long one. Bees are the only insect in the world that makes food that humans can eat.
Bewilderment.
2 for 2. The average worker bee makes about 1/12 of a teaspoon of honey in her lifetime.
How bespoke of them.
Do I even want to go to the last one? All right, fine. The average lifespan of a honeybee during the working season is about 3 to 6 weeks.
I got nothing.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
That's so sad.
It is kind of sad, but on the other hand, while bees are an important part of the Earth's ecosystem,
Yep.
they are not your friends. They don't like you.
That's not true.
It is true. They don't like you. And I've got proof.
Do you have bee sting scars?
No, but I did see some movies about killer bees.
I'm not surprised at all. Are you saying that you chose killer bees?
I chose killer bee movies because, somebody has to represent the other point of view, which is bees are mean and I don't like them.
Just like turkeys?
Don't get me started. We don't want to go back there.
Okay.
So my first pick in this whole killer bee thing is the 1978 movie The Swarm.
The Swarm.
Way back in the 1970s, the disaster movie was huge. Movies like The Towering Inferno, Earthquake, and The Poseidon Adventure were just massive box office hits. And the man behind the films I just mentioned is Irwin Allen, the master of disaster, they called him. He was like the Michael Bay of his day. That rhymes again.
Ooh.
See, I'm rhyming. This is good. I'll start my rap career soon. No, I will not. So as the decade of the 70s wore down, the disaster movie did as well. The last such movie that Irwin Allen directed was The Swarm.
For more than 20 years, scientists have known that a swarm of killer bees has been headed towards the United States. Now, Warner Brothers presents Irwin Allen's The Swarm. Its size is immeasurable. Its power is limitless. Its enemy is man. Irwin Allen's The Swarm. It is more than speculation. It is a prediction. The Swarm is coming.
This is the killer bee movie to end all killer bee movies because, frankly, it was so bad that nobody wanted to make any more of them. Yeah. So this continued the typical epic disaster movie formula that he kind of pioneered, which was, you had an all-star cast looking for an easy paycheck and a supporting cast made up of actors in the sort of the declining years of their careers, or they were like TV actors, sports figures, because, Towering Inferno had O.J. Simpson, womp womp. Yeah.
Wait, he was an actor?
Yes, he was. O.J. Simpson. You don't remember Naked Gun?
Nope. Wasn't he a murderer, though?
Yes.
Something to do with like a white horse and like a gloved thing? No?
You really need to watch more A&E.
Yeah.
We need to get you caught up on all this whole thing. So, yeah. Starring in The Swarm is one of my favorite actors, Michael Caine.
Ooh.
Now, he is, without a doubt, a fantastic actor.
So well known, too. I mean, all you have to say is Michael Caine. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah. But it looks like he's planning his next tropical vacation during the entire movie. Yeah, he's like,
super tanned.
Give me my check, give me my check, give me my check. Because Michael Caine was not ashamed of doing movies just for the check.
Really?
Yes. I mean, we're talking Jaws the Revenge here. Come on.
Doesn't he have a knighthood, though?
He does, but he's not ashamed to admit that, if he wants to go buy a house or he wants to go on a trip or, he's gonna do a movie that's gonna get him there.
Okay.
So he's got,
him.
and he's honest about it, which is great. But he's also been in some amazing films. So I got to give him credit for being honest. Now, he, in this film, The Swarm, is a scientist, of course, who tries to warn the American government that a missile base was attacked not by an unseen enemy, but by a giant swarm of African killer bees.
It's always African killer bees. Like, it's such a bad rap.
They do, because they're the killer ones.
Yeah.
The African killer bees.
Yep.
Now, of course, the military, being what they are, wants to use deadly poison to kill the bees. But Dr. Michael Caine, as I will call him, because I don't remember the character's name, because seriously, do I really have to? Because he's basically being himself.
Killer bees.
He says, no, you can't do that because of ecology.
Don't ever do that again.
Fine, I won't do that again. Meanwhile, the bees are just like all over the place, stinging people willy-nilly, using cheesy 70s era special effects, like gluing fake bees onto people's faces.
Fake bees?
Fake bees glued onto people's faces. It's,
So it's like basically a pipe cleaner?
Kind of. Yeah, it's ridiculous because you see them like bouncing around like pom-poms on people's faces, like really awful skin tags. It's not good.
Ew.
It's just, it's not a good look. Yeah. So they discover eventually that it was the missile base's alarm that attracted the bees in the first place. So they devise a plan to lure the bees out to sea using a similar kind of alarm. Now, like I said, this is a B movie and a B movie. It's both at the same time. It was directed by Irwin Allen and looks like an old TV movie of the week. So it's, everything is lit like the sun is out all the time. It's just kind of crazy. The dialogue is so stiff you could use it as a crowbar. And the entire cast should have been arrested for overacting. That is with the exception of Michael Caine, who, was sleepwalking through the entire thing. You
by
could just
definition,
tell.
overacts anyways.
Yeah,
That's just a personality, I think.
But he's just like here. He's like so mostly just cutting it, like, I'm just showing up for work and then leaving. You could tell. He's like, yeah, give me more paycheck. I'm sorry, I did it again.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You got to get a beeline out of here.
No, hey now. But this is kind of a ridiculously entertaining movie to watch. If you like your bee movies with actual bees, you should check out The Swarm. It's not a good movie, I will give it that. But IMDb gives it a 4.4 out of 10. And not surprisingly, Rotten Tomatoes gives it a whopping 11%.
Oh, that is bad.
But if you want to subject yourself to this, it is the typical $2.99 on YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, and Vudu.
Maybe you could sit down at the beach and drink a beer.
Yeah.
While watching this movie?
I'm not going to help with that because, frankly, I'm just disappointed.
All right.
So, but that was I believe you said it was going to be your, do you have a different one?
No.
That's okay.
I'm telling you, I got really hung up and very passionate about that
That's
documentary.
okay. That's okay.
So I wanted to not put too much of that into this because I know some people think that I'm amazing and that I'm just, obviously glorious.
Boy.
I just wanted to make people know that I'm just, I'm humble too. I can sit back and let you have the spotlight for once,
I'm sorry, were you done?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
Go ahead.
good, thank you. So we're going to go from a truly, truly awful Killer Bee movie to, in my humble opinion, the best of the Killer Bee movies.
There's more than one.
Oh, yeah. This was a thing in the 70s. There were quite a few Killer Bee movies because it was a big kind of, everybody was scared that the African killer bees were going to migrate.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And cause real problems because
Yeah.
these were really aggressive bees.
Right.
You didn't have to bother them for them to bother you, which was, kind of
Okay.
scary. And they would
Yeah.
all come at you at once. And that was, really bad. So people were freaking out about killer bees around then.
Well, I remember reading too that the African killer bee is actually like a cross-pollination, for lack of a better term, of Western bees and, from the African continent, which, interestingly enough, would make them man-made and would also
True.
make them kind of like a bioweapon.
Yeah, you could say that. That's,
Yeah.
it's a way of looking at it.
Wow.
So, they're just very ill-tempered bees.
Also, wasn't there something a few years back about like zombie bees?
Zombies.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, there wasn't there?
Zombies. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I just like saying zombies.
Zombies.
That if that's not a movie, it should be. Let's get to work on that.
Yeah, seriously.
Zombies.
Copyright.
That's right. We're saving that one, so don't steal it. And like Snakes on a Plane. That was my idea,
Yeah. Thanks, Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
That is your real name.
So back to my next pick. A couple of years before the swarm was unleashed upon an unsuspecting populace, we had the Savage Bees.
Ooh. Not
Which-
just the bees, but
Not the Savage Bees. I actually like that title. It's kind of funny.
Yeah,
it's
to be honest
it's
with
a
you,
fun
yeah.
title. I like it. The Savage Bees.
You are in danger. You have 60 seconds to clear the street. The Savage Bees, a terrifying mind-boggler of a movie, and it really could happen. Panic breaks loose as millions of deadly bees descend on an American city. First time on TV, The Savage Bees, Monday at 9, 8 Central and Mountain Time on NBC.
Now, this was actually a TV movie that
Oh, okay.
aired on NBC in November of 1976. And it was directed by a man named Bruce Geller. Now, if that name sounds somewhat familiar to you...
Bruce
or if you-
Jenner?
No.
Oh.
And that's not even Bruce Jenner anymore.
Sorry.
That was our Switch movie. We
Oh,
didn't-
yeah,
we
yeah.
weren't
Forgot.
doing that.
Yeah.
So this guy, Bruce Geller, was actually the person who created the Mission Impossible series.
Oh, with, what's that guy's name? Bruce Willis.
No. Try again.
Oh, I know. Tom Hardy.
No.
Okay. Who could it be? Like Tom Cruise or something?
Yeah, well, that's we're talking about, these are the movies, but the movies were actually based on a television series that aired several decades ago. So Mission Impossible, the series was created by Bruce Geller, who went on to do a few other things, including The Savage Bees.
Oh, yes.
So you can thank him for Mission Impossible, which the last few of those movies have been really good. I really enjoy them. So there you go. Sponsored.
Yeah.
Hashtag sponsor us, Paramount Pictures.
Please.
So this movie starts off with kind of a mystery. This Brazilian boat, like a banana boat kind of a thing,
Oh, yeah.
sort of limps into harbor in New Orleans. And the crew is dead. So the whole crew's dead. And it just kind of floated into harbor.
Oh, okay. No one stared at it. It just
No.
floated in. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Got it. Yeah. I'm with you.
So there's kind of a mystery, and there's the local sheriff that's trying to figure out what's going on. It's very kind of Jaws-y in that way.
Or like Anaconda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this was a year after Jaws was released, so they were already starting the knockoffs. So boat floats in, everybody's dead. Sheriff's like, what's going on? And of course they discover that they have all been stung to death by Africanized bees. Mm-hmm. It turns to now, where are these bees? Where did they come from? How did they get on the boat? And basically you find out that
Do they have their passports?
tiny passports are hard
Yeah.
to read.
Yeah.
That they were actually, there was a hive that bees had built in the hull
Oh, okay.
of the boat.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then somebody went snooping around and, of course, unleashed the bees, and it killed everybody on the boat. So now they have this colony of African killer bees floating around in New Orleans, and it's Mardi Gras. So the local sheriff and some plucky scientists have to stop the bees from turning the unsuspecting Mardi Gras parade partygoers from becoming human pincushions. So once again, they cannot use conventional methods to remove the bees, simply because they'll disperse, and they will breed with the local bees, resulting in, you guessed it, more killer bees. So
Killer bee squared.
So they have to come up with some kind of really inventive way to remove the threat of the bees without dispersing them, causing them to go all over the place.
Yeah.
So they do, and this is one of the reasons why I really like this. They come up with a pretty ingenious solution to this problem, and it is both, like I said, both very, very clever and also very humane.
Oh, good.
And I won't spoil it for you, but it does involve a red Volkswagen Beetle and the Louisiana Superdome. So you figure that out if you can.
Wasn't there a beetle car that talked? Birdie.
Herbie.
The
love bug.
Yeah.
Yes.
Punch.
This was this was sort of Herbie the love bug. That's a whole other thing.
Just be responsible, people.
Oh, and be kind, rewind. See if you're old enough to remember that. Then good for you. But anyway, as I said, this is kind of a no-budget TV movie, but the filmmakers made up for it with good characters and some pretty clever ideas. I do have a soft spot for this one because it did scare the Jesus out of me when I was a little kid. So there you go. This movie gets a 5.1 out of 10 on the Internet Movie Database.
Ouchies.
And a 29% on Rotten Tomatoes. So maybe not everybody's, cup of bee.
Oh man, I was so gonna say that. Good job.
Oh,
yeah,
see,
good
no,
job.
Great minds, great minds. Now, sadly, The Savage Bees is not officially on any streaming service. However, as of this recording, it is available for free in its entirety on YouTube. So, get yourself some creme de menthe and some brandy, and make yourself a stinger cocktail. That's what that's called. That's right, a stinger.
Creme de menthe.
Creme de menthe and brandy. And then get comfy, get on YouTube, watch The Savage Bees. You'll be glad you did.
Be amazed.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
You know, I have a vivid memory of creme de menthe in just in a movie. Do you remember that movie 28 Days Later?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that one scene where the guy is like, hey, we're going to save this, but we'll drink it because, you guys are here. And it's like that, or green liquid, and it's creme de menthe.
Yeah.
Then they go into a grocery store and they see these green apples, and his only response is, irradiated. I remember that vividly. So every time you say that, I'm going to remember that.
See, and it's funny, when I say it, there's something that I remember, and it's from an episode of Cheers, the TV series, in the bar, where...
You're welcome.
Yeah. And so... Kelsey Grammer, who plays Fraser Crane, of course, then he got his own show, was ranting about something, and someone else threw a glass of liquid in his face, right? Just like sometimes when you're trying to get somebody out of they're having a hysterical fit, they splash like something in their face to wake them up out of it.
Quick, bring the Poland Spring.
Yeah, but they throw the liquid in his face, and he like licks his lips and looks up and he goes, creme de menthe? Really?
I didn't realize that he got a spin-off show from Cheers.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, I didn't even really know that.
Yeah, the character appeared for quite a few seasons on Cheers and then spun off into Frasier.
And then Frasier got bigger than Cheers?
No, I don't think it actually got bigger than Cheers. I mean, Cheers was a really, really popular show in its time.
Yeah.
It took a few years to get going, but yeah, it was pretty popular, and so was Frasier. So it was because it was a great character, and Kelsey Grammer, number one, he's really good.
Totally.
So, are you? Do you feel good?
I
you
feel
like
good.
You're helping some bees?
I do. I have a question for you.
Yes.
How do bees style their hair?
I don't know. How do bees style their hair?
With a honeycomb.
Ooh, I was thinking like a beehive hairdo or something.
Oh,
see?
yeah. Like they make the beehive.
I was going off in a different
with a
kind
honeycomb.
of direction there.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
So we're coming to the end. We've got a quick shout out to give because that's the time of the episode. I want to say hello to my husband, Wayne. Huge supporter. Allows me to do this. Thanks so much. Well, you know what I mean. Never mind. Also, hi to Jabberjaw Media on Instagram. They have been a follower of ours for quite a while, and they always seem to like our new posts, so thank you so much. They've got some great content if you are not aware. They do a lot of music-oriented ones, but yeah, thank you to those folks.
And in a similar vein, I would like to thank my wonderful wife, Carolyn, who
Mrs. Feeney.
Yeah, she has been a huge supporter of the podcast and
super chill,
and is thoroughly happy that I'm staying out of her way by doing this.
Yep.
So, kudos to you, honey. Get it, honey? Peace.
Oh.
Anyway, and we're doing it again.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, and hopefully, we will continue to be doing this for quite a while.
Catch you on the B side.
So on the next dive, Easter is coming faster than you can melt a box of Peeps in the microwave. And we've all done that, haven't we?
No.
Okay, never mind.
But you know something? I think that the egg one, the little egg ones and then the bunny ones, they taste different.
You think so?
Yes, and I am a firm believer that macaroni in different forms tastes differently. Like if you get ziti versus rigatoni versus the spiral ones, fusilli.
Don't be fusilli. Actually, that's probably because the surface area of each one soaks up different amounts of sauce.
Right.
And so it gives you a little bit of a different flavor profile.
So more if in the Peeps, you get the bunnies, you got ear texture instead of the chicks with the chick texture.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then we get the Cadbury cream eggs, which
Oh, wait a minute. Listen, America does not do Cadbury's right. I am sorry, Hershey's Company. I love you, but you
America in general doesn't do chocolate right.
Okay, so when I go to England in a couple months, I'm going to bring you back some really fancy stuff. One of them will be a proper Cadbury egg.
I would like that very much.
Yes, I will. I will do that for you.
And also, I believe, and I don't know if they are going to do it this year, but I believe that in the UK, McDonald's does a Cadbury egg McFlurry.
They do.
Yeah, that sounds amazing to me.
It is very good. It's very good too when it melts because you can drink it, and it's almost like drinking caramel soup.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really tasty.
That sounds wonderful.
You know what I'll do is I'll Skype you while I have one.
No, that would be torture.
I thought we were doing an ASMR episode, no?
No, we're not doing it. Stop it. Can't go down that.
I know.
So
thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. Easter, by the way, is coming faster, as I said. Peeps in a microwave. We've got some of our favorite secular and Jesus-y films that we're going to share with you on our Easter Spectacular.
Jesus-y?
So, and we're not exaggerating.
Oh.
I'm starting early.
What kind of passion are you trying to bring through?
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah. Get it? Because it was passion.
Yeah, passion of the...
Yeah, okay.
Okay, fine.
Who directed that? Tom Hanks?
You know what? Let's just
stay tuned.
Let's just stop. Okay.
It'll be excellent.
Okay. 3, 2,
1. Peeps.
What? No.
Oh. Okay, end
transmission. Special thanks to Spirits of the Symphonic and EchoCraft for our amazing theme music. Links to both artists can be found on our website, thedeepdivepodcast.podbean.com. If you like us, you can subscribe on iTunes, Podbean, Overcast, or wherever fine podcasts are found.
Will history blame me or the bees?
The Deep Dive Podcast is a production of Automaton Media.